Welcome to Your Daily Writing Habit, episode number 929. If you are writing a book or thinking about it, or maybe you've started writing a book but you need some help getting it done, you are in the right place. Good morning. Happy Tuesday, everyone. I'm your host, Christine Whitmarsh. If you're looking for me online, look for Christine Inc., like that stuff we write with. Each day, I'm sharing with you the writing habits I've learned over my 20 years as a ghostwriter, book coach, and author. I have found that three things in particular have a huge impact on your success as an author, and they even have the ability to turn an air quotes non-author, but I'm not an author, that person, into a published book author. Those three things are writing fundamentals, productivity, and mindset habits. Here's today's quote. When you use the creative force from your core self and intentionally decide who will show up, the things and behaviors you've always had can shift instantly. Most of us don't realize that we're telling ourselves a lethal story that we believe is gospel, when in fact, we can silence it and create and live a new story. And once again, good morning, everyone. Happy Tuesday. Let's talk writer's block today. I know, such a happy topic, right? This is also a preview of a really great interview episode of the show coming tomorrow, Wednesday, November 3rd, where I interview peak performance executive coach and flow expert, Chris M. King. So be sure and tune in to that episode tomorrow. Some really excellent neurological insights about creative flow and how to get into it. So what about those times that are the opposite of creative flow? When you're blocked, the words aren't coming, and in worst case scenarios, you're beating yourself up about it, being very unkind to yourself as the talented writer that you are. How can we move past this ickiness and get back to our writing? Well, this might sound a little wacky, a little bit science fiction, but here it is anyway. Separate yourself from your writing brain. That's right. And this also aligns with a really excellent book called The Alter Ego Effect by Todd Herman, who I quoted today as the quote of the day. Highly recommended read, The Alter Ego Effect. Now, I've talked about your writing brain more than a few times here on the show, but now let's take that conversation to a new level and actually imagine our writing brain as its own entity, its own person. And yes, you can probably guess what I'm going to suggest next. Name it. Make it real. Make it a person. And why should we do this? Well, outside of because it's fun and weird, and that's like who we are as writers, if you imagine your writing brain as a separate entity, a subconscious being deep within your mind that sometimes you have control over, but sometimes you kind of, when it goes off and does its own thing, then when you run into problems, you can delegate those problems. You can say, okay, look, writing brain or Bob or whatever the heck you name it, I don't have a clue as to where this chapter is going. I'm handing it over to you. I'm going for a walk with the dog. You figure it out. This allows you to release your writer's block frustration and step away from your manuscript without feeling like you're abandoning it. Because, hey, Bob's on the case. You've given your creative brain a problem to solve, so now you can step out of the way and let it do its work. This also aligns with how the neuropsychology of our brains actually work, how our subconscious really is a different thing than our conscious. And it may sound a little silly, but here's the little exercise. My creative brain just went completely off the tracks. So it may sound like a silly little fun exercise, naming your creative brain, but it is supported by science. So give it a try. Report back in Inc. Authors on Facebook, and remember to tune in to tomorrow's episode of Your Daily Writing Habit right here for more on this topic with flow expert Chris M. King. Thank you for joining me here on Your Daily Writing Habit, where I am helping you write and finish writing an awesome book. And like I mentioned a few minutes ago, please drop by my Inc. Authors group on Facebook for motivation, accountability, book writing, publishing, resources, and more. Until tomorrow, happy writing.